Yo, what's up, Rubens? Little Big Robots back. Hey, video today for you. I have a video. Today I am talking about the Roundnova. This is a 30 minutes missions kit. As you know, 30 minutes missions, one of my favorite lines ever. Built to be inexpensive, built to finish in roughly about 30 minutes, although that's not a constant gimmick anymore. And this is kind of a grunt unit, a Roundnova. Now, you might remember, where is one here? One of my favorites of all time is this guy here. This is a EXA, I can't remember exactly what it is, subunit. A lot of people think I'm joking when I think this is one of the best designs ever because it's like an egg with legs. But I'm telling you, I've said this a million times. Picture this as, a human-sized bot that's dropped into a war zone, an urban war zone. It's all folded up because it does this cool folding thing, and it's got this, extremely kind of bulletproof, blast-proof armor, rounded armor, so it all ricochets. I guess it would need to be angular. I don't know what would be better for ricocheting. The leg armor is really, really thick, so it takes all that, and then it has this cool little drone mechanic where that's the adjustable head height, but also it's a drone, and they're dirt cheap. You get these like 10, 12 bucks. So I have probably 6 or 7 of them. One of my favorite kits of all time. And they came out with these Roundnovas, which is, you can see the similarities. This one feels more like R2D2, cosplaying as a grown-up robot. Mind the paint in my nails, by the way. I don't know if I like the Roundnova yet more than this guy. This guy is just so simple. He's just and I feel the build is not a lot more solid, but is just a bit more solid. It hasn't really, all of the ones I have haven't really loosened up that much, but this is really cool. Now they have the Roundnova in different colors. This is the white version, and this is I think it was gray or green color. I have dirtied this up. What I do to dirty stuff up like that is I literally just have a goop I made out of oil, paint, and some black paint, acrylic paint mixed together, and I literally just dirty. Oh boy, I just dirty the hell out of it. I just rub it all over, and then I rub it off. Oops, it's falling apart, isn't it? And it works great. It brings out the details, weathers it right away. A lot of movie people use oil paints to weather because since it doesn't dry right away, you have a little bit more time to kind of get it how you want, and then you just let it sit there. I bet you this still has some, look at that, might have some wet parts still on it, and it was done weeks ago. So 4 weeks ago at least, because that's the last time I did a video. Same kind of thing. This is not a drone necessarily, the head, but you can definitely do stuff with it. These are built to have a lot of little holes in it that you can, every part is hot swappable. So this is just really a recolor, right? And before I get into the details, let me show you. I just quickly did a blue wash on this one to kind of just bring out some of the details. I prefer the black wash. I just had some leftover blue, so I used that. I probably will buy some more brown and or black oil to do that, but you can see the difference here, and why a wash, just a really quick, even if it's just a filthy gross wash like this, really makes a difference. You can see every little detail. Can you see the seam lines? Yes, but do seam lines matter? No, they don't. In modern technology, they have seam lines, except maybe in the cloth area, a seam line is perfectly acceptable. Don't forget this. This might still be a little wet too. So let me see. Yeah, see, so I can rub it still, and I still get a little bit off. Not much, but that's how long it stays wet, for at least a week or two. So you kind of just set it to the side and let it dry. You will get it on stuff if you're not careful. Now, I don't know why we have the skis, but I don't care. I think it's such a nice little touch. To me, what's interesting about 30 minutes missions is that it can be used in the 1/144 scale it's supposed to be, meaning that people are like this big, right? They sit somewhere in the cockpit. To me, though, this doesn't feel like 1/144, and a lot of their kits don't. Especially the little ammo bags. This feels like kind of like the other guy. They're kind of like a bot that's dropped into battle and helps out, human-sized people. Or look at this. I've got this nice 1/25th scale. This is probably my favorite scale, 125 scale of Joy Toy mechs. One of their lines of mechs. The other is 118. It's the scale of Hexagear, 124, 125, and you can see they really make a good. What's cool about 125 is a lot of model kits really work with the same line. So this is not a guy who's going to sit in there. It's too small for him to pilot that, but it's just a robot. It's just a robot buddy. And I could give him some skis, and they could go skiing around the snow. I love the scene from, I think it was called, Invincible. What was it? Cartoon where the suits were not very large, but they had a whole section of winter ones in this skiing in the mountain and fighting each other and stuff. It was really really nice touch, because in snow they would need to get around, so why not skis? So you could use 125s on them. You could even use like this, just weird stuff like this. The Star Trek toy that could be his buddy. And this is what I really, really, really like. Where's my 120? Let me grab one real quick. So here you have some interesting scales to go with it as well. You've got, your Mega Constructs, which are about 130-ish, like an Arch Core. An Arch Core looks great with this stuff. Arch Core's only problem is that it's not painted. So you could weather these up, and these could be like a fighting buddy or just a robot guy that helps him out. You got a 118 here, which I think would work perfectly well. 118 works with it great. You could see her, using that ammo bag and stuff like that, doing maintenance. It could put ammo bags on the back. It has these great backpacks here. I bought 2 of each color. That's why I have 2 white ones, and I have 2 of these. I just haven't built the other brown one. This is more of I think this is closer to 1. If she's 118, I'm not sure what scale that is. But anyway, you could see, again, it could be a robot type buddy. That's a character from the Star Trek toys. Here's a 112. She's missing her foot for some reason. Here's that random Borderlands 112th figure who you could see actually working with it as well. It could be a smaller bot. So 30 minutes. Oh, and here's a 160. So this is getting much smaller, but not 144. 160 works with it well as well. You could actually see them piloting that, see? But it's not tiny. So because one and 144 is just a bit too small for something that is, has like ammo bags on. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like 144 to me. But that's the flexibility of this line. It's not only cheap, but like for army builders and stuff, but it's kind of scale agnostic in a way. There are some that look more 1 and 144 than others. Okay, so you get, with the 2 white ones, I got, of course, twice as much stuff. I love these little drone guys. Not these in particular. These are a little weird with their giant arms and tiny legs, but I like the little drones they come with. Those you can just simply plug into the back. You can do whatever. That's why these little holes come in advantage. Their gun is really interesting. It's like a sonic weapon or something. I don't know what this is. I'd have to look it up. I thought that was a really fun gun. And usually they just mount right in. He comes with these interesting grabby hands, but also some different kinds. I'll show you here. Like a normal fist, closed grabby hands, several different ones. But these guys, again, because they're 144, you could use a lot of different, like I've got a whole box of literal hands here. Most of these are larger, but you can see you can use a lot of different size hands or whatever. What is this one here? I don't know what that one is too, but you could see, you could throw that on there and it would work. So they're just really, really flexible. They're great for customs. I really like this Roundnova. The only thing I'm finding it is a little bit iffy on these Roundnovas is once I've painted them. Now, granted, painting them or even putting some kind of washing them does make the ball joints and what are they called? The little rubber bits. Why am I forgetting that? Oh my God. Anyway, the little rubber bits makes them a little bit larger because if you place paint on there, it makes the ball a little bit larger. So if you ever want to tighten up a joint, you can put a little paint on it. But for some reason, the poly caps there, they seem to get quite a bit looser now that I've painted them. See, now that they're in there, they're really pretty tight. On this one, it's not as bad, and on this guy, they seem to stay really well, really tight. So I'm not sure what that is. And then the waist also got a little bit loose, a little bit easy, and it's probably because of the wash. And I want to say that an oil wash could even damage your plastic, so you got to be careful about that type of stuff. I'm going to read up more on it. Kind of like using if you used a oil-based what's those markers called? The Sharpies. Those can damage plastic over time. So I don't know if this is going to be able to, if this is going to fall apart eventually or not. But all my other wash stuff with oil is doing fine, as you can see. So, but no, I really, really like them. I like these little packs. These are something that what's great about 30 minutes is you can take them off, and then you can use them with all sorts of different. Again, you can use it as a 118 pack. You could use it as a side pack for a 112, so you can use it in almost anything. 125th a little bit large, but you could see it as like a sleeping thing or on one of their mechs hanging there. So just a really, really fun line. It's got the normal posability they would have in any modern kit. It's going to go crazy. I'm not going to do all the bends here and bends there. That's just boring stuff. But you do get double kick legs and stuff. The skis are fun. They just literally pop on there with a single little part there. But the feet are fun. I always enjoyed these kind of. I've seen this a few times in Gunpla kits. And 30 minutes mission is just technically Gunpla. And I just always like those little bars. It's kind of like a little support from walking, you know, and stuff like that. Protects it or whatever. Ooh, see, I'm getting blue. Look at that. See, so you'll get that blue everywhere. You got to be careful. It's all on my hand. It'll be on my hands for weeks afterwards after I'm doing something. I need to just get gloves, but I'm being lazy. I literally just use my hand. So you can see it has tons of flexibility. Really, really fun. Let me see if there's any kind of lore that we're missing here. And this will give you an idea of what they're doing here. They're wanting you to build all sorts of stuff. They usually have like a customization tips, you know, that kind of fun stuff in the back. Let's see if they do, and I'll give you an idea of what they're kind of wanting you to do. I mean, you can imagine you can just do anything. I thought they had one where it was like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. You got some Roundnova stuff, you know, stuff like that. Put the wings on, you know, just a bunch of silly fun stuff. The lore is great. They're really, really doing a great job. Let me see if the store. Hey, kitties. Hey. My cats are play fighting, but they often will wreck stuff. And I don't know if that's Roy. I'm not sure which one is the. Anyway, they'll have a little bit lore on there. Great little line. 30 minutes missions rules. I love these guys. They look great. Like I said, they have a lot of flexibility in what you do with them. So, and you can see just by putting a tiny wash in there, all the details pop out. So anyway, have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you there. Enjoy. Bye-bye.